Good day. After the success of the Out of the Shadows trilogy, a few more Aliens books would be commissioned. And today, we're taking a look at Alien: The Cold Forge. This is a novel that is in every way a return to form, and in many respects mirrors the rather generic standard Aliens plot of the 90s. Xenos are being studied on a space station in deep space, and either A, the scientists are evil, or B, an evil guy shows up and the Xenos escape and kill everyone but the protagonists. And the protagonists have to escape to their conveniently far-away starship, and usually the bad guy is killed at the end of the novel. 90s alien stories got a lot of mileage out of that plot, and usually it worked rather well and made for some compelling stuff. And thankfully, it still works here. There are a few things that mix up the old formula, though, and these are welcome changes. The cast of characters are suitably entertaining. The novel's villain is a company cost-cutter who is a complete and total cretin and is completely insane. His perspective is the most entertaining of the novel and provides for some very creepy reading. If he were to be played by an actor, I would imagine him being played by either Brad Dourif or Joaquin Phoenix. You then have the protagonist. She is an invalid scientist that uses an android body to get around. She is also the main scientist studying some captured xenomorphs. The novel takes place on a space station filled with high-level company experiments, and the whole thing orbits a sun that could potentially destroy the whole station. The novel opens up with the company man coming to the station to figure out why it is taking so long to get a workable product out of the xenomorph. The company cretin, actually he is a nice guy, but we get to read his thoughts, and the entire time he is playing nice, he is gloating about how he is going to screw everyone over. Then we get to our scientist chick. She is suffering from a degenerative disease that leaves her bedridden, and thus she uses a brain-machine interface to control an android body. She is stalling the experiment so that she can discover some sort of super science treatment from the facehuggers. With all the backstabbing about to go down, this station is on a collision course with wackiness. The xenomorphs escape the station not due to any human malice, but rather due to a computer virus. On this station, with highly dangerous alien creatures, the company is also creating a supercomputer virus that will make other companies want to cry. And thus, as you would expect, the virus gets out and begins shutting down the station, and in a scene straight out of Jurassic Park, the Xenos learn that the electrical fences are down, and thus escape. The Xeno rampage is quite well written and makes for some terrifying reading as they rip and tear all the guts. After things settle down a bit, the escape plot begins. There is no escape ship as it has been blown up by the Xenos, and due to that ship blowing up, the space station is of course damaged. And now their only escape is the life pods. Company cretin goes completely loony, and he gets even more compelling as the writer can really write crazy quite well. Science chick has some problems of her own as she loses connection with her android body and has to try to survive not only the xenomorphs, but also the company cretin. And her stuff is damn good as she shows great determination to survive. The xenomorphs are handled amazingly here. They are shown as living avatars of death that the company cretin actually comes to worship as the novel progresses. This is another 3 o'clock read, as it does keep one excited throughout, even though this is a well-tread plot. As you would expect, it is highly recommended, and I, GeneralLotz, wish you good Aliens Bug Hunt and Aliens Phalanx, or whatever makes you happy. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and if you can, please consider supporting me on Patreon so that I can continue bringing you this awesome content. Now that we can talk without any normies lurking about, it's time for some spoilers! The way the plot is kicked off is nothing short of excellent. The computer virus was due to human frailty rather than malice, or incompetence. A company scientist was blackmailed into introducing a virus. I like this plot as this does not rely upon any Deus Ex Machinas to get the plot kicked off. The science chick also has an ulterior motive for dragging out her study of the xenomorphs. She wants to find the super science government to give to a rival company so that they will fix her alien body. The rival company is also filled with assholes as they will not save her unless she comes up with a viable xenomorph sample. She does get one in a really gross way. She is able to get control of her android body again and literally milks a face hugger. And you know what that would look like, don't you? Yeah. You. The android does have a mind of his own, too, and this is quite tragic, although not the way you might think. He doesn't generally object to the milking, but he does object to this. While controlling the android body, Science Chick mercy kills an impregnated crewman, and this makes the android's actual personality go half crazy due to this breaking one of its hard-coded laws of robotics. Science Chick's survival is pretty damn satisfying. She cannot walk, but instead must crawl everywhere to survive, and she must use her greater intelligence to survive. She blows up a Xeno with pure oxygen and then tops it all off by mind-jacking a power loader. She uses it to kill Xenos, and she even uses it to take down the Company Cretin. The novel ends with Company Cretin in full throes of psychosis, willingly getting impregnated by a facehugger and dying just before the space station blows up to a chest burster. The Science Chick escapes with an egg and is picked up by the other company, and she is promised all sorts of crap, but the Science Chick is not stupid enough to buy it and begins forming plans of her own. All told, a great ending to an amazing novel, and I would have loved to have seen her further adventures, but alas, that is likely not to be.